Servotastic, a multi-system VHS video recorder. Really looking forward to this one. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're looking at the Akai VR-X475EGN. Now this machine is a bit special insofar as it's a multi-system video recorder. Reckons it's 10 standard, which I suppose maybe it is. They wouldn't lie about that, would they? This is actually a true multi-system machine insofar as everything is done mechanically, electronically, but not digitally. And that'll sort of make a bit more sense when we look at an Aiwa machine that I also have. It's also a multi-system machine. And but it uses digital technology to actually do the conversion, and I'm actually really quite excited to look at that machine because that's something I've never sort of come across, witnessed before. So this one, you know, it's a bit like the Sony machines, sort of the 80s and 90s, and Panasonic and whoever else on the VHS side. This actually does the various formats, playback and record, and what's sort of maybe a little bit unusual, maybe you can let me know in the comments, but on the Betamax side of it, it's actually really hard to find a true French C-cam machine, but this actually does have French C-cam, as well as the MEC C-cam, which is Middle Eastern C-cam formats. It's also got NTSC, and looking under here, we've got long play EP, depending on whether you're PAL or NTSC, and also select on the system as well. Oh, that's actually working, but we'll discover that as we go along, no doubt. So this machine has come from Steve. Basically just wants it serviced, but of course with machines this age it's very seldom just a service, but we'll see. You know, it might be great, or it might need quite a bit of work. So with that, let's crack on. Okay, so powered off. Let's take out the screws. You could argue this is actually quite unusual to have such small case screws. So 2 on the sides and 1 on the back. I'll just take those out and then we'll take the top off. Off, and oh, I mean, blimey, it looks really good. Nice and tidy, and yeah, I mean, I don't believe there's actually any problem with this machine. I think Steve just wanted it serviced and checked through. So yeah, that's fine. Gosh, it's so clean. It's really nice. I'm just looking for any suspect components. It's looking very much like all of it is surface mount. All of it is standard caps. It must just be before. Very much surface mount. I know nothing about these machines, so forgive me. I'm sort of feeling my way with this. But I can see a hinge, so I'm hoping. Oh, another screw there. Let's have a look at the boards. Unfortunately, I don't have the remote, because that would have been quite cool just to... oh, I've done that wrong. Yeah, so I took out the wrong screw. I should have taken out that screw there, lift the board up. So, oh wow, this is really nice. I do like these white boards. They're a bit of a thing with certain manufacturers, and they're just really nice. Obviously, but yeah, really nice electronics and so clean. I can't get over how clean this machine is. It's beautiful. Really very impressed. So I think what I might do is try and work out how the board goes back down. There we go. So it lifts out the hinge, which is very common on this sort of design. Super. So I think what I'll do is put a cassette in and give it a test. Okay, so can I just put this in while it's in standby? Yes, I can. It is of that age. So, being it still has a record tab in it, in the cassette, press play, and I don't seem to be getting anything at all. I am doing the very gentle, oh, there we go, very gentle finger test, finger clean, which you have to be a bit careful in these newer decks, because the way the take-up and, well, just the way the whole mechanism works, you introduce too much excessive torque and it just starts going really horribly wrong. Okay, so that's pretty clogged. So okay, let's give the heads a clean. Okay, so let's eject. Oh, it's a lovely machine. Very smooth. I will try and look up when this machine came out. I'd say it's got to be late 90s. Okay, so let's clean these heads. I'm slightly concerned because one of the head chips feels a little bit dodgy, but we are getting a load of muck off. Something struck the drum on the top. There's actually a dent on the top of the drum. How bizarre. I mean, look at that. There's actually a bit of tape there. I'm going to need more paper. So that is, well, it's getting there. I mean, this is the thing. As these machines get older, it is the sort of regular servicing that they'll miss because there's just nobody around to do it. And yet it's not that difficult to do. But yeah, it just needs to be done. A few people have said about using cotton wool buds or Q-tips. I do use them certain areas, but I keep them well away from heads. You don't want them near heads. Okay, this is quite a bit of tape build up on the top there, some at the bottom as well. It's actually really hot at the moment as well, and literally this is drying so quickly. And then clean guides. Actually not too bad. Back tension, not too bad. For the raise head, rollers are good. Rollers are good. Rollers are good. Clean the sensor. The LED. This is the LED for the end of tape. And let's give pinch roller a bit of a clean. There we go. So, I think we might be good to go. Okay, so let's try again. My voice is going, it's so dry, it's so hot. Okay. Well, it's working.
In motor racing, Britain was not just an outsider, but had nothing to compete with the Germans and Italians who were dominating Grand Prix.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is recorded in long play. So that's actually not bad, and the quality is not great of the recording anyway. Yeah, it's amazing that there was that bit of cassette, bit of tape, literally came out of the heads. That would do it. So yeah, so let's just check. I'm sort of getting ahead of myself here. So yeah, it is long play. This was recorded on a Bush, sort of relatively modern, sort of 90s Bush video recorder. So it's actually doing a really good job. It's always a good test to see how good a machine is when you play back something that's been recorded on something that's fairly sort of run-of-the-mill from the time. The thing I'm sort of slightly interested with is this chugging. Because the chugging sound doesn't sort of relate to anything that's moving. Unless it's something to do with what's underneath. Idler, well, it could be underneath the cassette, idler, or it could be the belt underneath. I'm assuming there is a belt. There's always a belt, isn't there? Especially with Japanese VHS machines. So, might be worth just taking a look and making sure that's okay. It's been playing fine, absolutely perfect, and I contacted Steve and said, yeah, it's working really well. I've got a clutch issue to sort out and look at, and he mentioned about a rewind and fast forward issue that it just wouldn't. Now, I thought, okay, so let's just test that. And you can hear it knocking. I mean, we know we've got a clutch problem as well, possibly. Some sort of clutch problem, maybe? mean, fast forward seems pretty good now. I say now, I did actually test it earlier and it was also a bit sort of knocking. My initial thoughts are possibly it's a damaged tooth, but more likely maybe something's got in a tooth somewhere. But it's a bit weird because obviously there's that strange sort of clutch sound you can hear when it's sort of playing. So I think we need to take a look, take it apart, and yeah, see if we can fix it. Okay, so let's take the bottom cover off. Okay, so this is a bit of an odd one. It's actually the capstan. Okay, let's investigate. Okay, so a bit of a push and just release the clips on the mounting ring. I think that's okay. And turn it over. Let's see what's actually going on with this. It's almost like the outer surface is cracking. Where it's rubbing. There's a bit of roughness there. This doesn't feel quite true somehow. Let's put that back on. There's a washer there as well. Thing is, there are no sort of wear marks, rub marks or anything. Okay, so I started sanding off the sort of excess where it's sort of overlapping on the edge of the magnets. And it seemed to improve things, but it still was dragging. I think the actual magnet itself was dragging. But what I've found, and this is fairly unusual, I've not seen this before, I don't think. This is actually rubber, and it's become compressed. It's just no longer doing what it's supposed to do. So what I've done is I've forced a washer on, and this gives it a little bit more sort of something. And that's now fine. So the next thing is this, what's going on with the rewind? was a deliberate mistake. I forgot to put the belt on. Yeah, let me just put that belt on. Right, let's try again. I now have no noise. Was that what it was? I mean, there's still a bit of a... I have to say, I'm not a fan of this deck. It's a fragile deck. And that rubber, that's really a bodge, to be fair. It's giving some, like, almost like suspension to the capstan, which I sort of get. But let's see what happens when it rewinds. But obviously, I mean, it's rubber, so it's gonna degrade and fail, and yeah, it'd be really interesting to see how old this machine actually is. Auto rewind. I can still hear a little bit of gear, sort of something going on. But like I say, these decks are not refined anyway, so am I just being overly sort of sensitive because I know there is a problem, or there has been a problem? But that's fine. I mean, that's rewinding. Well, I'm not happy with it. But what else can I do? Part of me would like to repair that mode switch, but I just think that is probably... I think on this machine, because of how it's set up, I think it's something that needs to be done as and when it fails. I think taking that apart and trying to clean it may well kill it, so I am not going to risk it. I know it would make a great a great additional part to the video, but I don't want to risk it. It's not my machine either, and it's low hours. It's a good machine, so I think we need to leave it there as far as the deck goes. I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's running well. So yeah, be interested in your thoughts in the comments on this. You know, would you have gone further, or would you have just been happy to just see it working as what it is, as it is now? I mean, it's fine. I'm happy with that. So yeah, check it plays. No noise. That's actually really smooth. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is maybe there was something in one of the teeth of the gears. Me playing about with it, and I mean, off camera, I was sort of just going around all the teeth on the gears that I could see, and sort of just brushing off. Not that I could physically say anything, but maybe there's a bit of contamination in one of the teeth. I don't know. The spores all look good as well. Very weird indeed. I'm just sort of a bit sort of over the top with looking at this, because Steve has said it's had wind and rewind problems. But I don't know. I don't know why I couldn't get it to load. Still a bit perplexed by that, but it seems maybe I didn't have to worry about it after all. Stop it. Rewind. Give it one more try. Yeah, seems fine. Oh well. That's cool. Okay, so I'm fairly happy I've got this sorted now. Let's press play. On screen display working, so I know we're connected. And I seem to remember this tape is actually my friend's tape, Marty. He gave me a whole load of cassettes when he was clearing out stuff, and he did tend to just sort of wind on a little bit from the start, which is no bad thing. And yeah, so there we go. The picture's not great. The actual original recording is not that great, but you can see that's working really well. And still search. Yeah, it's multi-speed or 2-speed. Let's go back. Play. Yeah, I'm really happy with that, to be fair. It's exactly the results I would expect. That's really smooth. It's not bad. You can see there's a little bit of wavering about with the servos, but it's really good. Rewind's a big one. Smooth. No knocking. That's really good. I'm so pleased. Still a bit of a mystery what that sort of gear noise was, but it's not there now, and I just wonder if it was just some contamination, and I've removed it by examining it. But yeah, so there we go. Hope you enjoyed this one. Something a bit different, a bit random. I was going to do some recording tests with this, but I'm not going to worry too much. I'm pretty happy that it will be fine on the recording side, and I will give it a quick check before I give it back to Steve. But Steve is actually coming near here tomorrow, so I just want to get it back together, give it a quick test for the recording side of it, and he can take it back, which would be great. It's really nice to sort of get stuff back to people as quickly as I can, if I can. I know as though it's still working on it. It will be done. It'll be done. But yeah. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Like I say, something a bit different. And we do actually have an Aiwa multi-system deck to come up soon. It's one. It went up in smoke. But that actually has digital conversion, and it does digital conversion on the fly. So that'll be really fun, and we'll stick that on the video converter as well, so we can get some grabs from that one. I would like to have done that with this, but I'm just not going to get the time. So yeah, with that, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe as well. Really means a lot. Please subscribe. It's absolutely fantastic if you do. Lots of fun stuff going on here. And see you in another video. Bye for now.